Ladies and gentlemen, now give it up for my heavyweight, who's going to bring me home the belt. He is what I imagine that I will be when I grow older. Give it up for the most senior comedian we have here tonight, Wayne, with the great name, Wiskow!
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Wayne Wiskow, your challenge for this evening will be... a big black dildo. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Begin.
You know, I appreciate Wayne Lyter asking me out to be his heavyweight tonight. It's quite an honor, and Josh showed me some love earlier. He came up to me and he said, Wayne, I hope I look as good as you do when I'm your age. I said, Josh, you don't look that good now. I did get my first request for an autograph tonight. It was rather touching too. Theodric, I was in the restroom, and Theodric came in. He's at the urinal next to me. He said, Wayne, and I said, please call me Mr. Wiskow. And he said, Mr. Wiskow, do you think you could autograph my penis? I don't think so. I might be able to initial it because it's very small. Last time I saw anything that size, it had an eraser on the end of it. I want to get serious for just a moment. I had planned to do this for quite some time. It was, like I say, an honor for Wayne to ask me up here, but I feel I need to apologize to him and you. It's been a pretty rough week for me. I'm not quite myself. I buried my father last Saturday. Probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, because he just wouldn't stop squirming. And I'm all like, lay still, old man, I've got more fire ants. I told you I'd let you know when I was ready to move out. Now we'll see who gets to sleep with mother. Oh, shut up, I'm just kidding. I moved out months ago. I do like the older ladies, though. They have a name for them, too. You know what they call them, women who like to date much younger men? Cougars, that's right. Unless the much younger man they're dating is me. And those ladies aren't cougars, they're saber-toothed tigers. Those women are about to become extinct. When I'm sitting across the table from a new tiger and I lean over seductively and I ask her, are those real? I'm talking about her teeth, not her tits, okay? That's information you can use. Just ask any guy who's ever been gummed by a tiger. Dating older women can be dangerous, though. I gave my 82-year-old girlfriend a hickey on the neck. I nearly choked on all the loose skin. You know how hard you have to suck to raise a bruise on someone whose circulation is that bad? And there's a new tiger on my trail, and she tells me she's interested in a long-term relationship. I know she's lying. Woman her age, there's no such thing. There are terminal relationships. My last girlfriend died 2 weeks ago. We broke up yesterday. It's Like that old saying goes, you know, sex is like pizza. It's even good cold. My last girlfriend was a real bitch. She complained about everything. She said, you smoke too much weed, you drink too much beer, you watch too much porn. Well, I just burned a bowl before I came in here. My beer's sitting right there. And I'm looking at you, sweetheart. Right now there's a porno flick going on in my mind and you're the star. My mama. Ooh. I didn't know you were so flexible. She complained about everything, so, you know, I dumped her. Just off at 76, 2 miles later. She was already dead. She'd come over the night before, you know, and she said she wanted to break up. She said I was boring. I'm looking for a man who'll take my breath away. The pillow was sitting right there. Seemed like a no-brainer to me.
Distraction!
Oh, I didn't know there was a door prize. She looks like a real crazy bitch. So I got a special treat for her. I noticed the way you've been watching me all night. You can probably tell I've been working out, huh? I was at the gym this morning. I had an unpleasant experience. I finished my weights. I was down in the shower. Now, this isn't a fancy place. We don't have those individual shower stalls, you know, just the one big open area with 3 shower heads on each wall, like at Penn State. I couldn't help but notice that the guy next to me was pissing in the shower. It was disgusting. It's gross. I was so put off I couldn't even finish masturbating. I'm just kidding. I always finish. Kind of the highlight of my workout. I call it the clean and jerk. I was introduced. Wayne introduced me as the most senior comedian. Let's cut the bullshit, okay? I'm old. And bitter. I resent the fact that kids today have advantages growing up that I never had when I was young. You know, we didn't have any fancy calculators or computers. If we needed help in math class, we had an abacus. If the abacus went down, we didn't reboot, we'd repeat. Now, of course, computers are everywhere. They're used for everything. Even dating. By applause, how many of you out there have ever tried any of those internet dating sites, the social networks? Yeah. Yeah, which one did you try, honey?
Date.com, that's what we met.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Why haven't you taken your profile down? I saw it the other day. I tried a new one. It's called Plenty of Fish. Maybe you heard of it. Plenty of Fish requires you to show a headshot, but it allows you to describe your body type. Anything from thin to average, a few extra pounds, or athletic. Now, I'd arranged to meet a woman who had something, we had a lot in common. She described herself as having an athletic build. Well, when I got there, I thought she'd lied, but she had me on a technicality, inasmuch as a sumo wrestler is an athlete. Now, I'm not a big guy, and I usually don't go for the large ladies, but she had that diaper thing going on, which is so fucking hot. I hadn't seen that much meat in one room since the county fair. She had a tramp stamp back that was more like a mural. Another woman I met on Plenty of Fish confessed to me on the first date that she lied about her age. She said, I'm really not 63, I'm actually 67. I said, well, that's all right, don't worry about it, because I lied too, you know, when I said I never killed anybody. What I should have said is I've never killed anyone with premeditation. Usually it just happens on the spur of the moment when someone pisses me off. Well, she went off on me. She said, how could you possibly think that killing someone, regardless of whether you planned it or not, is anywhere comparable to fudging on your age? Well, I looked her right in the eyes and I said, you're starting to piss me off. I'm so happy to see all the ladies here tonight because I love women. Women are sensitive, nurturing, intelligent, beautiful. I love them. Sometimes I think too much. By applause, gentlemen, how many of you have ever tried to date 2 or more women at one time? I'm not the only one, am I? There you go. You got busted, didn't you? That's because women are also suspicious, sneaky, and vindictive. They will mark their territory. You know how they do that? They leave small personal items around their place which you as a man will not notice, but another woman will. That's why I wear an earring. My wife found this pair of sapphire earrings with a sprinkling of diamond chips on the nightstand behind the tissues. I told her I was getting my ear pierced the next day, and that was my starter set. Reason I mention it, just last night my girlfriend was over. She found a thong rolled up underneath the edge of the sofa, which she immediately identified as, not mine! I'm wearing it right now. That's when I think it's starting to pinch. And right about there. She came over to watch a movie. She started getting frisky. You remember what that's like, sir, don't you? Getting frisky? That's what we called it back in the day. She was nibbling on my earlobe. She stuck her tongue in my ear. I was liking it pretty good until she shorted out my hearing aid. Then I was loving it. I didn't have to listen to her the rest of the evening. And she was so upset about it, she took me out to one of those fancy gentlemen's clubs. It's hell getting older, though. I think I spent more on tips to the restroom attendant than I did on tips to the girls. But to be fair, you know, he did give the best lap dance. Who would have thought an old guy could move like that? From there we went out break dancing, like regular dancing, except something breaks. Usually a hip. I've tried to meet women wherever I go. I was in San Francisco one time, went down to Chinatown, went to one of those Chinese brothels, but I was horny again an hour later. I actually lived in the Netherlands for a year. You know, where marijuana's legal, prostitution's legal, the age of consent is 16. Hell, I thought I died and gone to heaven. And it's not unusual in Europe to see an older man dating a much younger woman. And I am not ageist, I dated women all the way from 82 down to, well, let's say 18. I'll try to get myself a young Dutch girlfriend. It worked too because she was dyslexic, you know. She thought I was 25. We were getting serious. She said to me, "Do you want more children?" I said, "No, you'll do." We're not together anymore. One of my most recent girlfriends was a 28-year-old black woman. She was just too cute. She had, you know, initials for everything. She called me her SD, you know, for sugar daddy. She said I had BST. You know what that is, BST? Brown sugar tendencies. I think she must be right. I got a gift certificate for Bed Bath & Beyond. I was all excited. I thought it said Bed Bath & Beyonce. She can lip sync me anytime. I had initials for her too. I call her CB. You already know what that is. That's crazy bitch. And she earned it. She had a stripper pole in her bedroom that she'd gotten out of an old firehouse. That wasn't so bad, except she made me dress up like an old fireman. That got old. Her girlfriend told me she'd had sex with the entire basketball team, and the only thing I could say was, even the white guy? Because, you know, he seemed like a dork. But the biggest thing she did that made me call her a crazy bitch, she had what I call RADD, Relationship Attention Deficit Disorder, because that relationship lasted a total of 8 days. It was over before we even got the blood test back. And you know what that means. Dry humping and safe sex. Now, she had the audacity, 2 months after we broke up, to leave a message on my phone telling me that she was pregnant and threatening me with a paternity suit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am now 64 years old. At my age, a paternity suit is not a threat, okay? It's a fucking testimonial. That's all I'm saying. I hope she files it. I posted it on Facebook. Go, Daddy. And if that sperm were to fertilize that egg, it would have to be the most virile sperm in the whole world. It would have to have portaged across a severed vase. It would have to claw its way through a rubber dam. It would have to outswim the sperm of a 23-year-old black man that apparently had a 2-hour head start. And we talked about it before, and I'm going to leave with this, just a public service announcement before I go. I talked about safe sex. I mean, we had safe sex when I was young too. We just called it making sure the parking brake was on. Now, of course, it means condoms. So the first time I found myself in an intimate relationship following my divorce, I did the responsible thing. I went to the drugstore looking for condoms. I was amazed at all the different kinds they had. I didn't know it, but they come with expiration dates too. I picked a 12-pack off the rack, said used by January 1st, 2014. Well, I put those right back. You know, I just don't need that kind of pressure, okay? I found a 3-pack that was suitable. Said ribbed for her satisfaction, 33% greater stimulation. Well, I put it on inside out. I figured, what the hell I paid for it?